Character name: Flandrex, the Scarlet Devil. Originally debuted June 2011. Overall look and changes. When I was designing Flandrex, I tried to make her as horrifying and demonic looking as possible. The entire basis for her character came to me while I was experimenting with her infamous wing build. Her initial version was completed in only a few days, but the MOC had quite a long way to go before I finally became satisfied with it. In fact, my most recent tweaks to Flandrex happened only a few months ago. Here's a comparison of how far Flandrex has come since her initial release. Character bio. Titles and occupations. As far as affiliations go, Flandrex has none besides herself. She came into existence after Helrix was struck by an alternate universe spear of fusion, which separated the negative aspects of her spirit into a small, living creature. This creature was sickly and on the verge of dying, so when Helrix discovered the creature, she took pity on her and nursed her back to health. After the creature had gained more strength, she attacked and killed Khafu, a member of Helrix's Toa team. Helrix immediately abandoned the creature in the wild. Many years passed, while the creature stalked the wilderness, attacking and absorbing life force from wandering Rahi and Matoran, causing her to grow in size and strength until she resembled a disfigured clone of Helrix. Tales of the creature turned into folklore, and she came to be known as Flandrex, which roughly translates to Scarlet Devil in the Matoran language. Personality. Because Flandrex's spirit is made up of the strengthened negative aspects of Helrix's spirit, she has the least likable personality of all my characters. Flandrex is constantly filled with hatred and deceit, and she will sometimes kill things for no reason at all. She also enjoys toying with her victims. Rather than instantly killing something, she will drag out their suffering as long as possible for her own amusement. Eventually, word of Flandrex's attacks reached the hand of Artaka. They decided to send Helrix's Toa team to subdue her. Helrix and her team were successful, and Flandrex was imprisoned at the Hand's headquarters. There, the prison guards tortured and abused Flandrex, even going as far as to amputate her wings, only causing her to grow even more spiteful and insane. Helrix eventually realized Flandrex's origins and attempted to convince her to use her powers for good, but to no avail. Abilities and powers. The Hand of Artaka named Flandrex's elemental ability Destruction. This ability allows her to expand or compress matter at will. This devastating power is part of what makes Flandrex one of my most overpowered characters. She has the capability of instantly destroying any foe, crushing them into nothing, but her favorite method of dealing damage is expanding particles of air until they become unstable, and then blasting her opponents with them. While imprisoned by the Hand of Artaka, Flandrex mastered control of her element. She managed to escape from captivity after the Hand disbanded, slaughtering her prison guards while she was being transported to the newly founded Order of Matanui's headquarters. Important possessions. From the wreckage of her destroyed prison transport and the daggers of the prison guards she killed, Flandrex crafted large, bent metal wings and grafted them onto her back. She also retrieved a Kanohi Krast, the Great Mask of Repulsion, from one of the fallen guards as well. Her wings are too heavy for flight, but when used in conjunction with her mask power, she can glide through the air. Flandrex also wields the Great Sword of Destruction, Lavatane. This legendary artifact was transported into the Bionicle universe during the dimensional relocation of Luna Magna, and was the same sword Shelok used to kill the alternate universe Vizon and Fenrak that originally separated Flandrex from Helrix. It can project a flaming red mist from the edges of the blade, and it is said to be able to level multiple city blocks with a single swing. Paired with Flandrex's elemental power, it's even deadlier. The early Order of Matanui lost many members in the process of recapturing Flandrex, and while they were successful, they were forced to change their recruitment methods, now welcoming Toa into the Order. MOC analysis. Inspiration and theme. Flandrex is directly inspired by a character from the Toho Project series, Flandre Scarlet. Her name, powers, colors, and weapon are pretty much directly taken from Flandre, but her backstory and personality is original. In fact, the reason Hellrix takes inspiration from Romilia's Scarlet is because I wanted to recreate Flandre's character in Bionicle, and echo the dichotomy between the Scarlet sisters within Hellrix and Flandrex. Flandrex also uses Flandre's classic theme, You and Owen Was Her. Flandrex's remix of this theme is an orchestral remix, performed by PrototypeRaptor. MOC Features. Flandrex has connection points on her hands to allow her to hold her weapon. She stands 9 inches tall and 5.5 inches wide, with a 14.5 inch wingspan. MOC Articulation. Flandrex has 35 points of articulation overall. She has full ankle mobility, a 90-degree knee bend, full hip mobility, a slight bend and twist in her waist, a double-jointed neck hindered on the left and right, a posable jaw with a tongue, full shoulder mobility, a slightly greater than 90-degree elbow bend, full wrist and finger mobility, 1 ball joint and 4 ratchet joint articulations in each wing. Interesting building techniques. Flandrex's torso construction is based around a Paraka limb piece. Personally, I haven't seen anyone else use this limb piece in a similar way. Her lower jaw is a simple construction of Exoforce arms, pneumatic T-pieces, and minifigure horns. It's a really simple design, but easily the best jaw design to pair with the Kanohi crest. Notable flaws. Flandrex's head and neck is her biggest flaw in articulation, being barely able to turn left or right with this style of CCBS bone. The bone piece can be swapped to a full ball joint, but this prevents her from looking up and down instead. Flandrex also has issues with balance. Her large wings put a lot of weight on her legs, so more dynamic poses are somewhat difficult to achieve. I tried to add friction joints wherever possible, but adding any more would detract from her overall appearance, which usually takes priority for me. Fun facts. Flandrex is technically the second female MOC I've ever made. Humorously, she's also the least feminine female MOC I've ever made. Overall thoughts and criticisms. Flandrex is another one of my all-time favorite MOCs. She's probably my most improved MOC, as practically every aspect of her build has been modified in some way. Like Kanpaku, her entire character was directly inspired by one of Toho's most iconic characters, so naturally she became one of my most iconic MOCs. She maintains a dramatic, intimidating presence no matter what pose she's in, and knowing her abilities just makes the concept of her even more frightening. What would you rate this MOC out of 10? Any questions about the build or the character? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and as always, thanks for watching.